Hi guys, it's the Cryptic Cinema here, and today in this video I'm going to be explaining my thoughts and opinions on the two latest DC superhero trailers that have been released thanks to Comic-Con, and a lot of people have posted reaction videos and reviews on those trailers, and I'm pretty much just going to be sharing with you, should I say, my thoughts on the two trailers which I have recently watched. The Suicide Squad trailer did get released yesterday evening, I believe, and that's where I got the chance to watch that one in HD, because prior to that it was just a Comic-Con reveal trailer. So I guess I'm going to start off by talking about the new Batman vs Superman film trailer. In my opinion, it doesn't look like this film is going to fulfill the hype, should I say. When I very first heard about Batman vs Superman, I didn't necessarily need to contain any excitement, let's say. I don't really think it's a great idea putting two big superheroes into a film. A lot of critics have said it's a very bloated idea, and I personally don't think it can work. However, I may be proved wrong when the film actually gets released. I'm very much a fan of Batman. I'm a very big Batman fan. Although I've never really been that interested in Superman, I'm still somewhat of a fan. That's because I very much prefer DC to Marvel, and I always have. And Batman is very popular nowadays. It seems that everybody is a Batman fan, even if they haven't really read the comics or seen any of the early movies. So a lot of people have been converted to DC due to this huge announcement that these two superheroes are going to be versing each other in a movie. There are quite a lot of references in the movie. There's Robin's, of course, costume with the Joker reference on there from A Death in the Family, that comic, which is a very good comic. I suggest everybody reads it, and also Under the Red Hood, which was the adapted film from that comic. So I'm not really sure why that little Easter egg is placed in there. Maybe it has something to contribute towards the story. I'm not entirely sure. There have been rumours where people say that something in the Suicide Squad, like a side plot in there, has something to do with that. I don't really think the movie's going to relate and connect that much. However, the Batman vs Superman trailer, it looks like a very action-packed trailer, and that's usually the flaw with most action-packed trailers. Usually they show too much, and often ruin quite a lot of the film. However, I feel like a good amount of action is being put in there. It doesn't look like they're giving too much away. I definitely do like the reference to the Red Hood, though. I think it's great. One of my favourite additions to the new Arkham Knight game. So, of course, seeing him grow more prominently as a villain is quite exciting, to say the least. Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor, never really been a fan of that idea, and it looks like he could pull it off. However, I've always seen Lex Luthor as kind of a middle-aged character, and I don't really think Jesse Eisenberg is that experienced as an actor to fill the shoes of such a major character, in my opinion. It just didn't seem right seeing him in the trailer. I didn't think of Lex Luthor when I saw him in the trailer, but yeah, that is something I am not too optimistic about, Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor. However, we'll just have to see how that actually pans out. I think Wonder Woman looks great in this film. This is one of the things that I actually am very excited for, the Wonder Woman character. However, that also does contribute to the film potentially being over bloated. But yeah, aside from that, it should be a good film. Not too keen on the new Batman costume. However, I may warm up to it. It's very Dark Knight Returns slash Dark Knight Strikes Again esque, should we say? But yeah, I'll definitely watch the film. I can't say I'm looking forward to it too much. I'm too much of a fan of previous DC films to get hyped for another one. I think the Dark Knight trilogy had its flaws too. I've always been a fan of the original sort of movies, film serials. The Batman 1989 with Jack Nicholson and Michael Keaton will always be my favourite Batman, so I I don't really think this is going to be anything really major for me. And now I'm going to talk about the Suicide Squad trailer. Not much to say about this one. I think Margot Robbie is a great Harley Quinn, although I would like to see her, the more psychotic side of her, as that is probably Harley Quinn's characteristics. She doesn't look like she's adapted too much of the character, which could be good. She could be playing more of a realistic, um, of course, lifelike character, but we all want to see a sort of really psychotic Harley Quinn, and I don't know if she's going to deliver that. She definitely fulfills the role in appearance, in my opinion, and also Will Smith as Deadshot, absolutely fantastic decision, in my opinion. Just seeing him in action in the trailer is just absolutely fantastic. Definitely something I can't wait for. And yeah, everything else seems to be pretty good about the film. The only issue I have with the film is the Joker. I'm not really a fan of Jared Leto, and personally, I don't think his Joker looks that good. It looks very unique. However, it's not something I would normally tend to associate with the Joker. I think the tattoos are definitely a disadvantage. It makes him look like a Batman fan that's just been to a convention, that's gone topless for some reason, and is showing off all of his Joker tattoos. In my opinion, he just looks like more like a fan than the clan Prince of Crime. I'm just really not a big fan of his voice. Also, for those of you who have seen the trailer, we actually got to listen to his voice at the end, and in my opinion, it just sounded a bit like the Heath Ledger Joker. It sounded too much like he was trying to mimic Heath Ledger's Joker, and that's something I really didn't want to see happen. So, if he adapts, if he did his research on that Joker, I'm going to be very disappointed, because I feel like the Heath Ledger Joker is something of its own, and I think every Joker that has been released in a movie needs to be unique and individual. And yeah, I when I first heard of Jared Leto being the Joker, I wasn't a big fan. In my opinion, like I've said previously, the Batman 1989 is my favourite movie, and in my opinion, Jack Nicholson is the perfect Joker. However, Jared Leto I may warm up to, although I don't think he's. I don't even think he's as psychotic as any of the previous Jokers. I mean, that's only judging by the trailer, but I hope he can more or less adapt the characteristics of the Joker more in order for me to accept him as the Joker, because he's got a lot of big boots to fill, shall we say, and I'm not really a fan of the way his Joker's looking from the Suicide Squad trailer anyway. So finally, I think the Suicide Squad. I'm definitely looking forward to the Suicide Squad more than Batman vs Superman. In my opinion, it just looks more unique. I know I've said that word more in this video. However, it's not as hyped as Batman vs Superman, so there's me giving the idea that it may be an underrated film. I'm not exactly sure, but yeah, that was my opinions. One thing I do need to say, I don't really think DC are. It feels like they're following in the footsteps of Marvel by releasing loads of films, these trailers don't really look very dark, which implies that DC are going on a lighter route for their younger audiences. I just really wish DC would stick to the really dark and gritty DC that we knew and loved, or have known and loved. And for me, I want every DC film to be really dark and atmospheric. Not to say these films are atmospheric, but it's just I feel like they could have been so much more brooding, in my opinion. And that's just judging from the trailer, though. It's just in my opinion. I don't want DC to make the same mistake as Marvel have and just go on a rampage releasing content everywhere, and eventually people are becoming, in a way, desensitized to it. But yeah, that's my thoughts and opinions on the two hottest trailers, should I say. Can't wait to see the Suicide Squad, Batman and Superman. I can wait. It just looks like a very, very overbloated film. But yeah, that's my video. Please like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more.